Today, we're diving into a story that, it just absolutely captivated the world, the Titan submersible tragedy. But we're not just looking at it as a story about deep-sea exploration. No, this is a critical and, frankly, a devastating story about data, about technology, and about what happens when you use completely the wrong tools for a life-or-death mission. So, let's get into it. Just let that sink in for a second. This right here is at the very heart of the entire breakdown. Can you imagine? You're nearly 2.5 miles under the surface of the ocean. The crushing weight of all that water is all around you, and your lifeline, your entire navigation system, is being run off a spreadsheet. This one detail is so jarring, it really sets the stage for the catastrophic failure that was about to unfold. All right, to really understand how we got to that point, we have to rewind the clock to June of 2023. The whole world was glued to their screens, watching this massive search and rescue mission for a tiny submersible that had just vanished while on a dive to the most famous shipwreck in history. And the final outcome was an implosion. A catastrophic, instantaneous failure of the hull under pressure that's just impossible to comprehend. All 5 people on board were lost in an instant. It was an absolute tragedy. But it became even more shocking when the details of how this whole operation was run started to come out. The impact was, it was immediate and it was profound. Beyond the heartbreaking loss of 5 lives, it forced this global reevaluation of deep-sea exploration. OceanGate, the company, they suspended everything, and the entire industry was suddenly thrown into this fierce debate about the absolute fundamentals: safety certification, engineering standards, and this is the big one for our story: data transparency. And this is really where the story pivots from what happened to why it happened. Because when you start digging into the why, you find yourself moving away from just the physical materials of the sub, and you land squarely on the data architecture, or, the total lack of one, that was guiding the whole mission. This quote from an expert just reframes the entire incident, doesn't it? It basically says that the carbon fiber hull that failed, that was just the symptom. The disease, the root cause, was a complete and total failure in the data architecture. And when we say that, we mean the blueprint for how you collect, store, and use information to make decisions that absolutely cannot be wrong. And this slide just perfectly illustrates the disconnect. Look at this. On one side, you have the industry standard for any mission-critical system, right? Real-time data feeds, audited backups, verified monitoring. And on the other side, you have the Titan system, a spreadsheet model with manual inputs, a video game controller for steering, and a whole bunch of undocumented assumptions. It's just, there was no certified, reliable data platform at all. So here's the absolute kicker. This is the most crucial point. While they were descending into one of the most hostile environments on planet Earth, the crew had this much real-time, verified data on the health of the sub's hull. 0. Nothing. Nada. They were completely flying blind, relying on a static model that had no possible way of accounting for the immense dynamic stresses that were building up on that vessel. Now, as shocking as all of this is, you might think that Titan disaster is some kind of a one-off event. But it's not even close. When you pull back and look at the history of major system failures, you start to see this recurring theme. It's part of a much larger and, frankly, a very troubling pattern where data integrity is just pushed to the side with disastrous results. And this, right here, this is the fatal flaw that connects them all. It doesn't matter if you're talking about deep-sea exploration, the energy sector, or public health. The same mistake pops up again and again. People and organizations using totally inadequate data tools, like spreadsheets, for tasks that demand robust, certified database platforms. And here's the pattern laid bare. The Titan implosion, it really shares its DNA with other historical catastrophes. Think about BP's flawed spreadsheet models that contributed to massive oil spills, or the UK's National Health Service losing critical patient data simply because of file format limitations. Totally different fields, same exact root cause. So, what do we take away from all of this? What's the lesson here? The tragedy of the Titan has to serve as a stark, unforgettable warning. We have to take these painful events and distill them into clear, actionable principles so that we can prevent history from repeating itself yet again. Okay, here are the 5 crucial lessons. Number 1, require certified platforms. Certification isn't just a piece of paper. It means a system has been battle-tested for reliability under pressure. 2, demand telemetry. That's live streaming data. A spreadsheet is for your budget. It is no substitute for a live dashboard telling you what is happening right now. 3, safety protocols have to be driven by data, not gut feelings or some unchecked assumption. 4, build trust through transparency. Being open allows for peer review, for other experts to check your work. And finally, number 5, we have to recognize what's at stake here. Data integrity isn't some abstract IT concept. In environments like this, it is literally a matter of life and death. At the end of the day, the loss of the Titan and the 5 people on board was a profound human tragedy. But it's also a blaring, deafening warning sign to every single field that relies on technology and data, from aerospace to medicine to finance. It's a call to action to respect the data, and for God's sake, use the right tools for the job. And so, this is the question we're all left with. The Titan's hull imploded under the physical pressure of the ocean, sure. But the system behind it, that imploded long before, under the pressure of broken data practices. And it forces all of us to ask, when we lose trust in our data, what other catastrophic failures are just waiting to happen?